advisory and financial planning services are offered through Simplicity Wealth, LLC, and SEC Registered Investment Advisor. SEC registration does not constitute nor endorse of the firm, nor does it indicate that the advisor has attained a particular level of skill nor ability. Investing involves risk of loss. Insurance, consulting, and education services offered through Diamond Life Planning is a separate and unaffiliated entity from Simplicity Wealth. This information is provided as a general information that is not intended to be specific financial guidance. Before you make any decisions regarding your personal financial situation, you should consult a financial or tax professional to discuss your individual circumstances and objectives.
Welcome to the Rock My Finances show on K4HD Radio and Talk4 TV, where we put the fun in finance. Join Powerhouse Jennifer Joseph, CDFA, CMC, and Private Wealth Advisor, as she collaborates with you to create clarity, control, and confidence with your money, your way. It's not about the zeros, so what is it all about? Let's find out. Now here's your host and weekly friend, Jennifer Joseph.
Welcome back to Rock My Finances. I'm so excited about this episode as well. I hear this all the time. Women come into my office and they say, I am so behind. I feel so behind. And actually, that's not always the case. But what they say so quietly, they're embarrassed, they're shamed, they're so all apologetic, like they don't even want to show me their statements or where they're at or anything, because they're just so feeling bad and they think they should be someplace else. They'll say, I'm behind financially, I'm behind in life, I'm behind in my relationships. I thought I would be in a completely different place by now. All of these thoughts going around in our heads, right? If that thought has ever crossed your mind, I want you to know this right now. You are not alone. You are not broken. And guess what? You are not done. We are not done. In this episode, we're going to not talk about fixing you, because that's not the situation. We're going to talk about helping you understand why you feel this way, why it does not even matter, and how we can switch that thinking. So it really shows up a lot in midlife for women, because we actually are carrying invisible pressure. We have pressure from old timelines. We've always heard back in the day, like our parents retired. Social Security, the first time you can get it is age 62. So sometimes we think that we should have our retirement ready and everything ready to retire at 62. Then the next age is full retirement age, which is usually 65 and 3 months or 6 months or whatever, or 66. And we should be completely done saving money and growing our money. And we should have those millions at that age. That's in our head. Those are old timelines. Now it's even moved up. Our next age, at the highest age that you're going to get Social Security, that's not going to change. Otherwise, it goes up 8% a year, 70 years old. So right now, which of course could change, but it'll cap out at 70. So if you haven't taken Social Security up to 70, you want to start it at 70, because you're not going to make any more from then on out. That could change. They might increase it to 72, but that's a far cry from 62, right? So the old timelines that we've heard on retiring is not accurate. And retiring to me means no income coming in from your time. So trading time for money, your career for money, your company for money. Like, you do not have to put time in order to receive money into your account. What we all would love to have is this great big pot of money over here, some less than others, and that money making money, so that money is going to replace you trading time for money. And I hope that makes sense. But the old timelines are garbage. Just throw those out the window. Expectations were never really clearly stated. We think and we feel and we should be someplace at this time. Well, who said that? Like, back in the day, I had my first child at 21. Now, kids aren't having them until their 30s. So lives are completely different now. So the expectations about timelines that we should be someplace at a specific time in our life is absolutely not accurate. So we need to pick up all those thoughts that we think that we should be someplace and throw it away. Because as we all know, one event in our life could change our life drastically. good, bad, indifferent, doesn't matter. But it just takes one thing in our life that completely derails everything. Could be amazing, and it could totally shift us in a completely different way. So let's not beat ourselves up for the past and shoulda, woulda, couldas. Somewhere along the way, we absorbed the idea that at a certain age, we should have this amount of money and we should be living this type of life. We should be owning a house, maybe some rentals. We should be caring for our grandchildren, even. Well, a lot of kids aren't even having kids. So when we grew up and thought we were going to have the rocking chairs on the front porch and the marriage that really a lot are not working out for these days, we have to readjust our thinking and not add so much shame and blame on where we think we should be. The truth is, women judge ourselves against other, never real expectations of other women's lives, especially with social media. So now they're designed around linear careers. We thought that we were going to be in this career forever, right? We were going to go to school, get our degree, start this job, get our career, and that's where we were going to be. We thought that our marriage was going to last forever and death do us part, right? We thought that relationship was going to be stable, amazing, make us feel good, raise a great family, and have that forever. We thought that everything was going to be predictable and that we're going to be able to save this and the market's going to return this rate of return over time. We're going to be here. We really think that this is the way life goes, when actuality, that is the way men think. It's a linear life path for men. That is not the way women's lives turn out, look like, experience any of it. So women feel much more behind because our lives are layered. They are interrupted. They are deep, emotionally fixed on relationships, and we cannot control other people in our lives. I know we try, codependents out there. I know we try a lot to control other people. If they would just do this, my life would be amazing. If they would just walk in happy, or if they would just take this job, or whatever we want them to do because we think our life is going to be better. But that's not the case. That's literally not the case. We literally are so emotional about our relationships that does not take into consideration in our bank account. So it's not about the zeros. It's about how we feel about everything. So we're going to switch that today. Here's the worst thing that we do. We compare. The C word. This is not a good C word. I love all the other C words, but I do not like this one. We compare too much. We compare to our friends. We compare to our siblings. We compare to our parents. How did our parents do? Our parents lived in a very different world than we're in now. Our neighbors. I literally had a client come to me and say, I want my portfolio exactly like my neighbors. Why do you want that? Because they're always traveling. They have a really good time. First of all, they were a married couple. She's single. Okay, so they're always traveling. They're having a good time. They have a great big trailer. They go on trips to everywhere internationally. They have a really good time. I really want my portfolio to look just like hers. She talked to this neighbor. The neighbor said, yep, we have all of our money into fixed income type of things to where they just get the interest off of things. So they don't have to worry about the stock market going up and down. So my client says that's what she wants. Well, let's look at the real truth of things. Those neighbors had a very different portfolio and amount of zeros than my client did. And so when we compare ourselves, we're only scratching the surface because we're only looking at certain things. We might even be looking at social media and seeing how happy someone might be on social media. We might see our neighbors happy, right? Where I live, I'm very friendly with all of my neighbors and we all get along really well. We do a lot of stuff together, but I don't know the intricacies of their financial lives, of their family lives, of their married lives. I don't know any of that. So how can I compare myself to somebody else that from the outside looks like they're doing something that I should be doing? So we need to take the C word out. We do not want to compare at all. If I'm going to be doing any comparison, it's going to be me of today versus who I was 5 years ago, or last year, or 6 months ago, or yesterday. Compare myself. Even when I'm playing pickleball, I am comparing myself on how I'm doing today versus how I was doing last week or last year or whatever. So we want to compare ourselves with ourselves. Are we stepping into who we truly are today and looking at things that are going to change our financial world? Are we getting more education? Are we stepping up to the plate more? All those things we want to compare just with ourselves, if that makes sense. When we compare, we only really see the highlight reels of our friends, neighbors, parents, siblings, and even siblings are only going to tell us what they want us to know. We're not even going to know the full story with our siblings. Even our best friends that we feel like we share everything with, we're not going to know the full story with them either. We're just not. We do not see how stressed they are. We do not see the regrets that they have. A lot of people don't come in and say, hey, I totally screwed up. Like I sold the stock. I can't believe I did that. I totally screwed up. I could have bought this. Like we were just talking the other day with a friend that we like, okay, where we're at now, people are moving in, right? It would have been great if we would have bought some property a few years ago. Great. Shoulda, woulda, couldas. Let it go. That's all we can do. We can't beat ourselves up for everything. We do not see our friends and neighbors and families and social media acquaintances. We don't see their behind the scenes struggles. Do you ever have a really bad day? Like I just had one the other day and I was just like, oh my gosh, I need to shake this off, right? I need to shake off this yucky feeling because I was down in the dumps. And I actually do that after a trip when I come home or a big, really fun event or a great weekend. The next day is always getting reacclimated to this life and this day. And from my past traumas and my past experiences, that is a letdown for me. And so I have to remember that that was from past traumas, not now. I love coming home. I love my house. I love my job. I love my clients. I love everything I do. My podcast is totally fun. So we want to make sure that we're in that realm of things when we see other people highlight reels, if that makes sense, right? We don't really know what other people's true relationship is. We see them out and about, we see them for dinner, for holidays, but we really don't know what's going on behind the scenes. So comparison is just absolutely not a way to go. We definitely do not see the privileges that people have had. A hand up, education. Maybe their parents or grandparents taught them a lot about finances and how to how to build a business, maybe how to take their skills and turn it into an income. We don't know what they know. We don't know what they were taught, what they were experienced. We don't know what timing worked in their favor. Maybe like I had a friend buy a medical stock, totally took off, like it did great. That's great. I can't compare with something like that. I did not buy that medical stock, right? Some people bought Tesla and certain things that have just really skyrocketed in the very beginning, right? So we don't know what's happened to other people to help them get where they're at today. We don't know what inheritance they might have received. We don't know, like in California, we make a lot of money on houses. And so we don't know if they've made a lot of money on their houses before that, but we only see them at this state feeling like we have been behind or we have made mistakes. Then we're ashamed of ourselves. And this is the big point I want you to take away. When we beat ourselves up, we don't make good decisions moving forward. This is why this is so important, because if we are ashamed of our past and we can't let that go and we can't just love ourselves for who we are right this minute, and here you are on this podcast. So you already get a hand for being on Rock My Finances podcast, because that means you want to know more. That means you are in the perfect space. We want to reframe feeling behind to reframe it to, hey, I'm awake. I'm awake and I'm stepping into my power and I'm going to grow my power and I'm going to learn more and I'm going to love myself more. I'm going to love my numbers more and I'm going to do what I need to do to make good decisions moving forward. Any decision is a good decision. Have you ever heard of the ostriches with their money, right? They are asleep. They're not paying attention. They're numb. They don't want to see it. It brings up so much stress. In fact, a lot of my coaching clients come in my program this way because they've never looked at it. They're so afraid to look at it. And I promise you 100% of my clients are so happy once we look at it, because we reframe the old bad thoughts, the old bad beliefs, the shame, the all the negative, and we turn them into positives. And then once you're feeling positive about it, it's kind of exciting to play with your money and to look at your numbers. And guess what? The positivity is going to attract more positivity, which is only going to make them feel better and me feel better, everybody. It's awesome. So once you are awake and you're like, hey, okay, I'm ready, world, financial world, I'm ready to look at my numbers. I'm ready to see where I'm at. And some people don't want to go it alone. I mean, I know I don't go out in the garage alone and look at all my memories and all of my stuff. Like, that's scary for me. I always bring a friend and some help with that. So if you don't want to go into your financial world alone, you don't have to. Hire a coach, hire somebody that you love, or a best friend, somebody that you trust. Don't do it alone, because we want to feel good about it. We want to just see where we're at. That's all we're trying to do. We want to ask better questions. We want to pay attention. We want alignment with our goals and our dreams, not just accumulation. All we hear is grow, accumulate, save. It's all about that, and not spending money, and restrict and cut down and save your money. There's so much more to it than just that. So when we actually look at, okay, what do we actually need? Everyone is completely different. We want to know a day in a life. So a day in a life of Jennifer. How much money do I need? How many zeros do I need? Just a day in a life. Basic food, housing, shelter, housing, insurance that has to happen, medical, right? Those are our basics. That has to happen every day, no matter what's happening. Throw out a figure of that figure. So let's say that's $4,000 a month. That needs to happen no matter what's happening, right? Then the fun stuff, my pickleball, traveling, Italy, Iceland, golfing could be a nice hobby, your gym membership, all the extras, out to dinner, that kind of thing. That's the extras. Let's say that's $2,000 a month. Now I have $4,000 and I have $2,000. I have to have $4,000 a month. $2,000 is optional. So when we look at our numbers, everyone's a little bit different. You want to make sure that you have enough for your basic day in a life. That's what we really care about. We don't have to have all the travel stuff. When we hear these great big numbers that we have to have, well, that's not actually right. So if you've ever wondered, did I miss my chance? Is it too late for me? I want you to know right now, you are not behind. You are not late, and you're not running out of time. It is never too late to start. We want to have more clarity with our numbers. We want to have a great relationship with money, because when I love my numbers and my numbers love me, guess what's going to happen? Manifestation's going to happen. We're going to be able to attract a lot more. So we want to have more alignment with our goals, because I might have one client that only wants maybe $3,000 a month, and I have another client that wants $12,000 a month. Well, they need very different monies, right? So just taking the general words out there, throw them away. It's not accurate. It's not real. You need to know what's right for you. And no one can tell you that unless they know everything about you, which means you get to know everything about you. So fall in love with your numbers. I want you to write down 100 things that you love. First, I want you to be in that loving state. Then I want you to write a list of all your skills and attributes. What makes you a badass? What makes you amazing? Be in that state, and then look at all your numbers. And I promise you're going to fall in love with your numbers. And when you feel really good about that, you're going to have your weekly money date, and you're literally going to say really, really great things. Now, I have a quick gift for you, real quick. Hang on right now, and I'll be right back.
Wait, the show isn't over yet. There's more fun and finances ahead. Jennifer will be right back, as we have a special bonus offer for you right here on Rock My Finances, broadcasting live on K4HD Radio and Talk4 TV.
Hey y'all, it's Jennifer Jost. Are you ready to transform your relationship with money? Rock My Finances Club is your weekly mastermind for wealth empowerment. Join me live for your personal weekly group video sessions and access your personal portal with the video library at any time, including your success system and way more bonuses. Go to rockmf.com for your financial empowerment. Make yourself a priority today. Schedule a chat with me at rockmf.com and achieve your feminine financial freedom finally. Oh, and don't forget to ask me how to save 50%. See you at our weekly mastermind.
Okay, Rock My Finances on K4HD and Talk4TV is back. Once again, let's put the fun in finance with your host and weekly friend, Jennifer Jose.
All right, y'all. You get to fall in love with your numbers, know what's happening. So you want to know where every dime is going. Just take the last 3 months of everything you've spent, write them all down as a data collector and see what's happening so that you can actually fall in love with your numbers and say, okay, this is good. I'm going to shift it here. I'm going to do this. I don't want to spend that there. I want to spend it here, and grab your goals and just say, this is what I'm going to do from here on out. And you're going to move forward slowly, month by month. And I promise you're going to be really happy. I want you all happy, fall in love with your numbers, and be able to say, hey, I rock my finances. See you tomorrow.
We appreciate you joining us today, and don't forget to subscribe to the Rock My Finances YouTube channel for more engagement and bonus content. Tell me, what is your money story? Let's find out with Jennifer right here on K4HD Radio and Talk4TV. It's not about the zero, it's about the F word, feelings. Feelings Jennifer can't wait to explore with you next week. Until then, let's all say, I rock my finances.